Hey guys, the long-awaited Tesla Model Y Juniper is finally here. It was revealed to China and other markets just about 3 days ago at the time of recording, and it was done in a rather quiet way, but it is here. Although it has been advertised in some places by Tesla that this is a full redesign, this is obviously just a facelift, it's a refresh, and we're very excited. Tesla has seemed to play it safe with this refresh, which seems to have some people upset, but I say let's take what we can get. We actually don't know when we're going to be able to see a US spec model be revealed here. For reference, the Model 3 Highland was revealed in China on September 9th of 2023, and we didn't see it revealed for us until January 9th, 2024. So that's a 4-month difference, and I really don't see it going much different here. The reason why it was revealed this past 9th is because there was some leaks earlier that morning. At least that's what people are saying. Tesla felt pressure to go ahead and release it, so that's why we're seeing it in such a almost vague, quiet way. But we can assume that the US spec will look exactly like this. What I immediately notice is how much smoother the design is for this model than the outgoing model. The current Model Y had that kind of duck front end that a lot of people don't like, and it was kind of unique and quirky, so I'll miss it. But the new model looks really nice and more cohesive in a way, if that makes sense. However, they've gone in a completely different direction than the Model 3's refresh by introducing the full width headlights and taillight bars, so that's interesting. The general design of the body is of course the same. It's mainly those lights that are demanding the attention for this refresh. Something to take notice of also is that for the headlight designs, they've actually taken the headlights and separated them from the main light bar, which is the first time they've done that other than on the Cybertruck, which means they're starting to bring some of those cyber designs down to their other vehicles. Interesting. My favorite design choice for this new model though is the rear taillights. I just think it kind of gives cyberpunk vibes because of how dark it is and that fade from illumination to darkness. Also, you'll notice that it kind of slants inward, which is just a cool design, little choice. I've seen people comparing it to the design of the Charger and the Challenger's rear taillights, which really isn't that far off if you think about it. Even in the new Daytona Charger, I really like the styling here. It's funny, you would have expected Tesla to just do the same things they did to the Model 3, just on the Model Y body, but they did the opposite here, and I love that because they're starting to differentiate those models more and more from each other with those small design differences, rather than them being carbon copies of each other, even though they're still extremely similar. The interior of the Model Y, on the other hand, is extremely similar to the Model 3. They're almost like carbon copies of each other, which is expected, so I really don't have an issue with that. I feel like the updated interior on the Model 3 and Y implements a lot of changes that people will be happy to see. The design is fresh and the materials are updated to be much nicer and better put together. It now includes the screen in the rear, which means all Teslas now have the rear screen, which is kind of crazy to think about. That was a new feature not too long ago. Ventilated seats are also standard in the Model Y now. It's still unclear if that's also for the rear seats, but nonetheless, that's Tesla showing some bang for your buck. Interestingly, some pictures are showing turn signal stocks while others aren't, so we don't actually know if we're going to get them in the US. But if you were to ask me, I don't think we are, because they didn't do it for the Model 3, and I just don't see Tesla going back on things like this, because they never do. Whenever they get rid of buttons or stuff like that, they never really go back on it. And if they didn't do it for the Model 3, they're not going to do it for the Model Y. Unless they change the Model 3 to have stocks for this next year, but unlikely. For the interior, it's basically the same as the Model 3, like I said, but the only design element that really stuck out to me was that gray design piece kind of positioned at the top of the door panel. It kind of makes the Model Y feel a little more intentional than the Model 3. Not by a lot, but you know what I mean, like it flows just a little better. Now, performance figures for the Model Y Performance hasn't been released yet, because I think we might be one of the only markets that gets that, or the only one. The Model Y, however, the rear-wheel drive will offer a 5.90 to 60, and all-wheel drive for off of 4.3 seconds. I've heard whispers of a launch series that will be available in China and other markets, but not in the US. But of course, we'll continue to get our performance version. That launch series though is supposed to get cool badges and an acceleration boost of some kind. So, I don't know, it'd be cool if we got it. Range figures have also slightly improved by about 8%, which is nice to see, but disappointing from what I've heard by Tesla owners and some enthusiasts. But at the same time, like, I don't know, take what you can get. The range is already pretty good on the Model Y, like, there's not much more we can ask for. But one thing that is improved a lot that people have complained about is NVH and ride quality, which is a huge issue. So, well, not a huge issue, but an issue that is very common among Model Y owners. So I'm sure they're happy to see that. So for this facelift, they've seemed to have taken everything that was good about the Model Y and just tweaked it to make it a little better, just like the Model 3. They essentially played it safe with this facelift by not making any crazy progressions, and it's nothing too exciting. That's kind of seeming to be an issue for a lot of people. The Model Y is one of the best selling cars on the planet, and it's just an easy car to consider, so I can see why they would save their money and play it safe this time around. But all that considered, were these updates enough to keep it on top of all these new electric SUV entries? Let me know what you guys think. Did Tesla make the right move by playing it safe and considering the average buyer who doesn't care about crazy strides? Or should they have done something more drastic to position the Model Y ahead of the crowd? It is 5 years old after all, and many new EVs have shown their face. So just let me know what you guys think. Alright, I guess that's it. It was pretty straightforward, this refresh, so just let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, please subscribe and hit the like button. Y'all have a good one.